Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're talking about the Audi A6 4F. With this one, we're looking at a problem where the door's actuator motor starts acting up, behaving in a really erratic and unpredictable way, causing all sorts of issues. It's not opening properly. Sometimes it opens, and other times it just won't open at all. Let me show you. We're closing it, it's shut. We're trying to open it. And it just doesn't work at all. Our assessment leads us to believe the actuator motor is the problem, and we're going to fully take it apart and rebuild it. First, we'll take off this strip here. So what's really crucial here is this little plastic hook component. Right here, just. You'll want to press the strip forward a bit, and we're using Phillips head screwdrivers for this. So to screw this in, I need to screw this. You'll need such an extremely long Phillips head, because the standard Phillips screws, well, they just won't fit in there to be able to reach that screw. So here's another screw, all the way at the bottom. So we also need to take off this cover right here as well. And then you'll find there's an additional Phillips screw located here. Now simply pull off the trim physically by hand. Your best bet is using a trim removal wedge. Okay, first you'll want to disconnect all of the electrical plug connections. Then we're going to remove this entire housing using a 15mm socket. Socket wrench off. We will use an M8 socket and begin by unscrewing the two fasteners from the door lock assembly itself. We take a 45 Torx and unscrew the screw here. And once here. Just like the ones down here. We're taking the size 15 Torx again and unscrewing these two screws here. Yeah, the three. Now we're just going to take the plug out here. And unscrew the screw. Okay, unscrewing that with the T45 Torx bit. And we're unscrewing this one screw here from the window regulator with a T25 Torx. Same process here. Alright, and we're going to proceed now by removing the window regulator motor, which will require us to use a T25 Torx bit right here. And we push the pin of the window regulator in. We're going to go ahead and disconnect this connector right here and this one as well. So we're going to grab a T30 Torx and then unscrew this bolt right here. Now the connector, and open this up. that would have been completely impossible. And then carefully pull the whole assembly unit out completely from the housing unit assembly piece section area, making sure to clear any remaining clips or connectors before fully extracting it from the device chassis frame structure enclosure, while keeping all components aligned and supported to avoid any bending or damage during the removal process. First, the plastic component needs to be carefully detached and removed, and then I can proceed to rotate the assembly. So, we're taking off the plastic piece from the housing before giving it a full turn. Here comes the threaded rod from the door handle. That then goes down like this. Now, obviously, it's not the rod coming here. You fasten it right here like this. That particular part I just couldn't manage to film because you couldn't really reach it well, and here it's then moved down like this to open the latch. I don't know now in which position the motor is. If I press this lever now, it opens. Missed it because I was too quick, huh? Yeah, but it's flying. So, now when I push this lever downwards, this particular one right here, well then we're putting it all back together in reverse order. That's going to be a little tricky to film, especially this particular pin right here. So you really have to experiment and kind of just fiddle around with it a fair bit. It's best if you shoot the video from this precise angle here using the flashlight, because what you need to capture is this pin. The one that actually comes directly from the lock cylinder, right here, this one and that. That's the one from the door handle. It goes in here. And here it comes from the lock cylinder, the slit goes in here, and it's really, really tricky to get it in there properly at all. So, putting the entire assembly back in again, of course, don't forget to do so. That's really, really stupid. Couldn't I actually put it in afterwards? Alright, now we'll first go ahead and attach the screws from the positioning motor. So these two screws here in the front, these serrated screws that we had, we'll put them in place. So that's one thing done. Now we can set all the levers. The one lever is already well in place. We'll now also test if it actually rotates before we finish assembling everything here completely. And we'll do all of that by inserting the key into the lock mechanism there. Then just use your finger right here to check if there's any movement, or more specifically, to feel whether the internal locking mechanism is engaging properly and smoothly without any resistance, ensuring that everything is functioning as it should be, correctly aligned, and securely in place for optimal operation. You can also hear that the inside is opening and closing, that it's working. So next we're going to have to put this lever on here. So next, we're going to have to get this lever attached right here, making absolutely sure it's secure and properly fitted. So this whole mechanism clicks into place. That's specifically for the door handle assembly. Then we'll give it a test close and make sure it opens properly right here. Right? From inside, it's interesting. Yes, you can look at things here. So the only cable pull I haven't actually routed through this particular location yet. And now we'll do this white. Connector, no, the connector actually comes afterwards once the white one is on. The white plastic piece only comes off if you've removed the connector beforehand, because this goes around the connector. That is precisely the reason why there is absolutely no possible way whatsoever to detach this entire component without first going through the step of disconnecting the plug. Oh no. And now plug it back in once more. Absolutely, 100% for sure it is. That also clicked into place. And here's where this plastic screw goes in. So yeah, and in the end, it's really just screwing everything back together in reverse. Yeah, I think the whole thing is going to happen in speed mode. You're welcome. Yes, so that's how it looks then. When we go from closing it over to opening, it just opens right up fully and easily. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and if you still have any questions about the Audi, maybe we should tweak the ambient lighting since I took another look at the trim choices. Like, subscribe, see you next time. Bye.